Good morning from Fast Company. Here's our daily look into what's driving today's creative business leaders.
Every year, Employee Appreciation Day comes and goes, prompting organizations to rush into gratitude mode, offering lunches, shout-outs, and small gifts. But if March 7th is the only time leaders express appreciation to their teams, they're missing the mark. It's like only telling your partner, "I love you" on your anniversary. If appreciation is absent the rest of the year, the sentiment feels hollow. In fact, a once-a-year show of recognition can do more harm than good, as employees may perceive these actions as insincere. Whether in relationships or in the workplace, real appreciation is built through consistent, meaningful recognition. Recognition is even more critical as companies across industries are rolling back their DEI initiatives, a shift that could impact efforts to create more inclusive workplaces. Some organizations are quietly deprioritizing diversity programs, while others, like Meta, have made high-visibility cuts to their DEI teams. As DEI initiatives shrink, rebrand, or disappear entirely, it's more important than ever to reinforce inclusion through everyday practices. Recognition is one of the simplest and most effective ways to do this. When employees feel seen and valued for their contributions, inclusion becomes embedded in workplace culture, not just a corporate talking point. 4 ways to foster a culture of inclusive recognition. Employees at organizations with highly integrated recognition, where recognition is frequent, meaningful, and embedded in the culture, are 10 times more likely to trust their organization and 9 times more likely to believe their organization cares about them. Yet many organizations still treat recognition as an afterthought rather than an everyday practice. Consider these 4 ways to make recognition a consistent and impactful part of your culture. Number 1, make recognition a daily habit. Think about the last time you thanked a colleague for their contributions. Was it last week? Last month? If you can't remember, it's time to make recognition a habit. Start by incorporating recognition into existing routines. Take a few minutes at the beginning or end of team meetings to acknowledge recent contributions. When providing feedback, whether in one-on-one conversations, emails, or project updates, call out specific actions that made a difference. Use digital tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams to create a space for company-wide appreciation. Recognition doesn't have to come from leadership alone. You should also encourage peer-to-peer appreciation so employees feel valued by their colleagues as well. The more ingrained recognition becomes in daily interactions, the more it fosters a culture where everyone feels seen and included. Number 2, recognize behaviors, not just outcomes. If you're only recognizing employees for hitting goals like exceeding sales targets or completing big projects, you're missing a big part of what makes teams successful. How employees work is just important as what they achieve. Think about the employees who mentor others, uplift their teammates, or create an environment where all voices are heard. These behaviors drive long-term success, but they often go unnoticed. If you want to build an inclusive culture, make a point to acknowledge the ways employees support and collaborate with each other, not just their individual accomplishments. For example, instead of only celebrating the top performer in a department, recognize the team member who made sure everybody was set up for success. Call out those who took the time to share knowledge, advocate for a colleague's ideas, or create a positive team environment. By shifting the focus beyond just results, you ensure that a wider range of contributions are valued. Number 3, ensure recognition is visible and equitable. It's easy to default to recognizing the employees who are the most vocal or who work on high-visibility projects. But what about the ones who contribute just as much behind the scenes? Unconscious bias can lead to some employees receiving less recognition than their peers. Take a step back and assess who is getting recognized in your organization. Are the same names coming up repeatedly while others are overlooked? If so, make a conscious effort to expand recognition across teams, levels, and roles. Ensure that recognition is public and visible, whether it's through a company-wide newsletter, town hall meeting, or a shared appreciation board. When recognition is equitable, employees across all levels feel like their work matters. Number 4, use Employee Appreciation Day as a reflection point. When recognition happens consistently, Employee Appreciation Day becomes a meaningful reflection of the past year's achievements rather than a last-minute attempt to show gratitude. Instead of using it as the only time to celebrate employees, think of it as an opportunity to reinforce and amplify your year-round recognition efforts. Use it to tell meaningful stories of teamwork, highlight moments when employees went above and beyond, and showcase the contributions that have shaped your organization's success. Framing the day as a reflection rather than a one-off event helps strengthen your culture of appreciation. This is also a great moment to gather feedback from employees. Ask them how they prefer to be recognized. Some might appreciate public shout-outs, while others prefer personal acknowledgments from leadership. Use this input to refine your approach and make recognition even more impactful. The goal is to ensure that employees feel valued at the time, not just when it's expected. The bottom line, inclusion is built daily. If employees only hear expressions of praise and recognition once a year on Employee Appreciation Day, you're missing out on the opportunity to build a more engaged, connected workforce. A culture of recognition helps strengthen workplace relationships, increase motivation, and create an environment where people want to do their best work. It's also important to remember that recognition alone isn't enough. Without a living wage, reasonable hours, and supportive management, praise won't drive true engagement or job satisfaction. Recognition must be paired with a fair and respectful work environment. By making recognition a daily habit, celebrating behaviors as well as outcomes, and ensuring appreciation is visible and equitable, you can create a workplace where your employees feel valued every single day.
That's all today from Fast Company. Talk to you tomorrow.
Spoken Layer.